on the News Channel 5 network. This is OpenLine.
Good evening and welcome to Open Line on NewsChannel 5 Plus. I'm Matthew Torres, and tonight we are talking about a pretty interesting topic that's really making its way through the legislation ever since Governor Bill Lee's proposed bill that's now kind of going through some hurdles. That is the ESA, the Education Savings Account. Lawsuits now been happening being from Davidson County and Shelby County as well. People are in support of it, people are against it. But we are here with the special guest, Braden. Please forgive me your last name.
Boucek.
Boucek, the Vice President of Legal Affairs with the Beacon Center of Tennessee, a watchdog group. I know we have touted you guys with that title before. I know Tennessee and Conservative Think Tank is a name that you guys have been dubbed before. If anyone has questions about this, make sure to give us a call, 615-737-PLUS. We have a whole hour, your comments, your thoughts. Keep it civil, but we will talk about this and the reason why the Beacon Center is here. First off, Braden, I know you guys really delve into a lot of legislative actions, particularly with the ESA. Why did the group get on board? And I know you guys are representing at least maybe a couple of parents or a parent and the child.
Sure. Well, I'll take it in two pieces. There's the legislation and the litigation, and Beacon is unique in that regard because we're equipped to engage on both fronts. We've been a leading advocacy group for school choice since even before I was part of Beacon. It's in our DNA. We just fundamentally believe that parents should have more control over their children's education. That's the pathway to educational success, and it's a great time to be talking about school choice in Tennessee because the program that Tennessee has just instituted is revolutionary. There's very few like it in the program, and it really represents the cutting edge. Now, as you said, it immediately became the focus of litigation from two of the cities in their school boards, and we have filed on behalf of two parents in Nashville who stand to benefit from the ESA program. They're both single mothers with children in Nashville area public schools that would like to use the ESA program to send their children to Lighthouse Christian Academy. And the cost of the ESA program would fully cover the cost of tuition. Let's
kind of backtrack a bit, because I know when people think of ESA, they kind of get lost into the weeds. What is an ESA? ESA stands for Educational Savings Account. And what an ESA is a certain portion of the tax dollars that are already allocated for your child is given to you, and then you can use that portion of your tax dollars in anything that is educational related. That means if you want to go to a private school, you can take that money and pay the cost of your private school tuition. You can use it for books, you can use it for tutors, you can use it for software, and if you've got money left over, you can use it in approved post-secondary education. That's why it's so exciting, is because it gives parents control like never before. Last general session, I know it kind of caused controversy as far as it barely passing with the number of votes, with the Senate just one. Do you see the controversy from what people bring up every time they say it's not involving all counties, or they feel like this is just benefiting private institutions? Well, I understand the controversies, but I don't think any of them are based on any valid concerns. It's a pilot program, so naturally it's got to start small. And I think it's wise. This is a major change and shift in the way that we administer educational policy. So we ought to start small, see what the results are, evaluate, and go from there. I don't think that's so unusual. Now, there's been a lot of drama surrounding the actual implementation and passage of that bill, and to me that's just background noise. All I really care about is whether or not this program works and whether or not it benefits Nashvillians and Shelby County people. Perfect, and I know we have our first caller already. I love the sound of that. All right, hey Mary, thanks for calling. What is your question or comment?
Yes, I am a Metro school teacher, have been for 30 years. I've been teaching for 30 years because I sent all three of my boys to Brentwood Academy. No one helped me. No one paid the bill. My husband worked as much overtime as he could. I worked 2 jobs, and no one paid the bills. I mean, no one helped. I didn't get money from the government. So I don't know why these parents don't be proactive. If they want their children to go to Lighthouse Christian, why don't they work 2 jobs and get their children in there?
All right, Mary, thank you. Oh, excuse me, Mary, you still there? Hey, Mary, you still there?
Yes, and I'm going to call the governor's office and express my opposition to this too.
All right, thank you. What's your response to Mary?
Yeah, well, Mary, first off, thank you for your hard work as a public school teacher. I know you've done a great job, but basically you've made the case for school choice just right there. I understand that there must have been some reason why you wanted your children to go to a private school rather than administer them in the public schools where you taught. And that's perfectly understandable because every school child is different and no one other than a parent knows what's best for them. I think it's terrible that you could not just take the tax dollars that were already being spent on your child to go to a school that they never went to, and you could just transfer those to BA. And so what the ESA program does is it gives the liberty to these parents that you never had. And quite frankly, to the last part of your question as to why don't they just get another job, these are both single parents who qualify for this program, which is income-based already. And these single mothers, it's just not an opportunity. They're already working more than there are hours in the day. Everybody should have the educational freedom, even if that freedom was not given to you. We should give it to the next generation.
You mentioned income-based. What are the
This is a child abduction emergency transmitted at the request of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. A statewide Amber Alert has been issued on behalf of the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office for Evelyn Mae Boswell. Evelyn is a 15-month-old white female, 2 feet tall, 28 pounds, with blonde hair and blue eyes. Evelyn was last seen wearing a pink tracksuit, pink shoes, and a pink bow. Evelyn was entered as a missing child on Tuesday, February 18, 2020, but was reportedly last seen on December 26, 2019. If you have any information regarding the whereabouts of Evelyn, please contact the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office at 423-279-7330 or by 1-800-TBI-FI North E.
Checks with another child that she homeschools. She would love to send that child to you, but homeschool children do not currently qualify. You know, I can personally tell you that she was just absolutely crushed to learn that she couldn't use this program for both her children.
And the lawsuit ongoing, it's for Mayor John Cooper saying it is unconstitutional. You grinned with that. What is your response now?
Yeah, the constitutional argument is based on the fact that it only applies to 2 different counties, and it goes to a rather overlooked constitutional provision in Tennessee's constitution that forbids legislation that is local in form. But you know, this isn't anything that probably goes to most people's core concerns. Quite frankly, I don't live in Davidson County. I'd love it if we had this program. To the merits of it is it'll all get worked out in the courts, but we're absolutely confident that the program will survive.
He was quoted saying, at least in his statement, ensuring a bright future for Nashville requires more, not less investment in our public school. It's both my job and the responsibility of this administration, not only to protect Metro's limited resources for public school funding, but to seek more public education investment from the state. Going back to the argument, let's just focus more on public schools instead of away from it.
Yeah, you know, there's 2 points that I'll have about that. The first is the factual assumption underlying it is that this takes money out of public schools, and it doesn't. And voucher programs have been around for a long time, and so this is no longer a subject of debate. This is not theoretical. And the way the ESA program works is that there is a certain allotment of funds being dedicated to each child. Call it $10,000. Only a portion of those funds follows the child if it leaves. So say it's $10,000 and the child gets $6,000. That means the school is netting $4,000 and no longer has the cost of educating the child in our schools, which are, after all, packed and overcrowded in any event. More to the point, though, philosophically, I just object to the idea that the parents exist to fund the schools. That's not the way it works. They've got it completely upside down. The schools exist to educate the child. The parents are the customers. The parents are not a product. They don't exist just to generate money for the schools. And so I just fundamentally disagree with Mayor Cooper that that's the purpose of the educational system.
Have you heard from the mayor's office yet? Are they saying anything to you guys?
Well, I mean, you know, there's just routine scheduling stuff among the lawyers about when we're going to set stuff, but no, there hasn't been any direct communications about the merits of the lawsuit. I mean, I feel safe in saying this is something that a judge is going to have to work out.
Where do we stand currently? Just waiting to hear from what the judge says?
Right. The case is just in its early stages. Metro filed their lawsuit, I believe it was Thursday, so it's not even a week old. Actually, excuse me, a week ago Thursday, so it's only a little over a week old. We filed our motion to intervene in the lawsuit on Thursday, so everything's very new, but it'll be off and running before too long.
Any other parent? Are you hoping to speak with other parents?
Absolutely. Yep. There's a lot of resources for parents who are interested in using this program. Of course, you can direct your stuff to Beacon Center. We'd love to hear from you too. That's beacontn.org. But you don't have to look far on the internet before you can find resources for parents who are interested in taking advantage of the program.
Perfect. Again, if anyone has any questions or comments, don't hesitate to call 615-737+. As you can tell, Braden is ready to answer. We'll have more of this topic when we return from break.